Hello, and welcome to the High Vibe Virtual Learning Experiences. Find peace and balance through activating the inner voice. My name is Nicole Rodriguez. I am a certified holistic health practitioner specialized in energy healing, bioresonance, frequency, as well as emotional, physical, and spiritual wellness. My colleague Naomi Luce would like to give you a little bit of her background as well.
Hello, everyone. I'm Naomi Luce, a bioenergetic attunement coach, business system strategist, and owner of Divine Impact. I help Christian moms develop holistic habits for activating their dream life, and that's in both wellness and in business.
We wanted to share a little background with you about the original AO scan device that was previously a $38,000 machine that was used in holistic clinics all over the world. The technology used in this machine is from Russian and German scientists who discovered in 1980 that 120,000 frequencies in the human body represented an optimal state of health. In the beginning, the AO scan was used to help astronauts in space, but in the last 20 years, it was released to the public. I want to give a little bit of a background on this inventor, Lawrence Swenson, who in 1980, he started with a dream for his son to one day live a life free from the restraints of cerebral palsy. Lauren traveled the globe searching for solutions, collaborating with doctors, programmers, and scientists. His tireless pursuit led him to develop his first innovation, a frequency, light, sound, and motion machine called the Theta Chamber. And he hasn't stopped creating new technologies for the past 30 years. Now his son has minimal signs of CP, he's a black belt in karate, and can speak 5 languages.
Incredible, right? So, we want to talk a little bit about the scalar wave technology and how the AO scan works. So, with the scalar wave technology, it's a completely safe form of wavelength energy, and it doesn't have any electrical or magnetic components to it. They were studied extensively by Nikola Tesla and are a lossless energy. So, that just means that they never change or deteriorate or alter when you're moving them across distance or substance. They actually can carry any frequency programmed into them, and they can be sent anywhere in the universe instantaneously because they travel faster than the speed of light.
Now, a little background on Dr. Royal Rife. In 1934, Dr. Royal Rife helped 16 cancer patients become cancer free using his beam ray technology frequencies. The AO scan does contain Rife frequencies as well. The ultimate goal for everyone is to be able to have access to this device to scan their bodies, know the status of their overall wellness at any point in time, and to use the technology as an educational tool to improve their health and help others do the same.
So let's talk about Albert Einstein. He was a scientist and said future medicine will be the medicine of frequencies. And he stated that everything is energy and that's all there is to it. Match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. It can be no other way. This is not philosophy, this is physics.
So everything is energy. Every cell and organ in the body has its own distinctive vibrational frequency. When these frequencies are disrupted, whether by injury, diet, stress, or emotion, it results in a disruption that's often so profound that we carry the scars for life. When not addressed, this can bring about fatigue, depression, illness, disease, and even death. Over the past 20 years, these vibrational frequencies have been isolated, identified, and cataloged. What if there was a way that you could identify the optimum frequencies of the cells, tissues, and organs in your own body and restore them to a state of balance and harmony?
And this is how the AO scan will help to connect the dots and support root cause solutions. So, oftentimes we see similar images like this when we make reference to glaciers, right? And having the ice poking outside of the water and then having so many things underneath. And this is the same thing here with this tree. So, above the surface, we typically see things in our health show up as symptoms of the problem. So maybe feeling things like physical pain, self harming thoughts, sleep disturbances, or lack of energy. But those symptoms are typically rooted in something deeper, a deeper cause of problem, which could be things like chemical imbalance, overworking trauma, maybe serious illness, and things that are both emotional and physical components of health.
So introducing the AOScan technology. The AOScan application is a biofeedback technology. It's an educational tool to check your body at any time of day. It restores balance in the body, mind, and spirit. And it's an affordable app that can scan, optimize, and harmonize your entire body multiple times a day.
So let's talk about inner voice and why we're here. So there's several modules that are included in this AO Scan app. And the inner voice isolates and analyzes about 8,000 frequencies across a 12-note octave in your vocal tone, pitch, and pattern. It will identify emotional imbalances and creates harmonizing music that's going to balance your emotional state using musical notes, radionics, and other frequencies. Every scan is 100% customized to you individually and your distinct voice. And there's a fun fact that the AO scan uses the same software as a lie detector to be able to obtain accurate results.
So now we're going to share with you a little bit of what you would experience if you had an inner voice scan done. So this will be our inner voice demo. Just give us 1 second.
Yes, we're going to switch live here. And I'm going to present in the live screen. So you can actually have this app either on a mobile device, an iPad type tablet, or on your desktop. And you would have a audio recording feature like a microphone to be able to record your inner voice. And you can have this app available for yourself and multiple unlimited amounts of people. So you can scan your family and clients all together in one app. And so we will click the person. Today, I'm just using my profile. These are so many options that we can talk about in other videos. But today we're going to click on the inner voice. So we have two options here. We have on the left is just an inner voice where it's just taking the sound bites from your voice. And the second one with this little heart here will also run a smaller version of our vitals scan. And so we're going to show you how it takes just about 10 seconds to be able to show you exactly what's going on with your voice. So we click here, it's going to prepare to speak, and you're just going to speak straight into the mic. I am is a brilliant statement in the universe. It identifies you to every cell energy in the universe and fields and makes sure that the system knows it's you. Things like I am and your name, and you speak for the remainder of that duration, and then it begins to scan every note in your voice. And if you notice, it's looking at the causes, it's looking at the vitals, and it's going to supply us with some physical and emotional suggestions when it provides a report. Okay, so that was about 42 seconds. It took about 10 seconds to take that audio. So less than a minute, and we can have all of this valuable information. When we look here at this chart, you have 4 different notes. And these notes are relative to those notes that are out of balance. And so in these colored boxes here, you have the notes that will correct and rebalance these other notes that are out of balance. Further down, we have this area here, which is going to be where the music plays. And you have the opportunity to change all of these to just kind of make it comfortable to you and how you would like to listen to, the Zen meditation. Maybe you're looking for something a little bit more upbeat, ambient. So you can make a choice to do that. And you can play for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or on continuous. You'll then be able to click on a report. When it loads, you have the option to email it to yourself, or you can read it directly from here. And it has all the information and details. So I'm going to take you back to our presentation so we can go over one of the reports that we have in here.
And I love this because it's a perfect way to share with your clients like a little bit of information on their emotional status. So if we take a look at this sample here, it's fear versus confident. And we're looking at the corresponding note of G that was out of balance for this client. And when the client listens to the supportive note of C sharp, they are going to have less of the negative emotions that show up here on this list, and it'll help to enhance more positive emotions because the C sharp octave has frequencies specific to what that person's individual body needs based on their voice scan and their vitals. And then to also complement listening to the frequency music, you can also pair it with the color therapy glasses. So that red orange color, when you are listening to the C sharp octave, you can look through the red orange color glasses, and that's going to also support you by bringing in more enthusiasm, happiness, creativity, determination, attraction, success, and encouragement. And then if we look at the right side of the report, we're going to see some of the sub emotions that are also supporting this. So there's fear, there's nervous exhaustion, life planning conflict. And keep in mind that emotions can either be your own, they can be absorbed, or they can be inherited. So if something doesn't resonate here and you notice, wow, nervous exhaustion, my partner has been feeling a lot of these emotions, you might be absorbing some of that from someone in your family. And then if you look under the vitals, when you listen to the C sharp octave, you will be helping your bladder here. You will be helping to balance vitamin A in the body, coenzyme Q10. More often than not, when a vitamin comes up, it's that your body is lacking it. So even if this client were taking vitamin A or coenzyme Q10, maybe the body is not absorbing it the way that it should be. That happens a lot of times. If you're not having a good quality vitamin, there are a lot of synthetic vitamins out there. You might want to try like a raw vitamin A or whichever thing is coming up here to see how your body absorbs it. And then if you look under potential causes, there are some parasites showing up here, and there's also a brain-spine connection with TMJ and clenching and a cervical aggravation. So keep in mind too that these are energetic. These are just showing the remnants of energy in the body. So perhaps at some point you were exposed to a parasite and the energy of that parasite is still there. You want to balance out that negative energy and clear that out of your system. Then I love this last window here is the imbalances and suggestions. And it provides you like a little recap of what things you are helping when you're listening to this specific C sharp octave. So you're helping the liver, you're helping the brain, and you're helping the kidneys. And they also give you suggestions, like you might need to consider some chiropractic adjustments or maybe a liver detox. You might need to drink more water. Hydration is so important. So these are great tips on how to enhance your wellness in addition to listening to the music.
For sure. And I love that it only takes under a minute to find all of this, right? And so as we continue to do the inner voice and we listen day after day, we start to see some improvements here. I know I just want to quickly share that I was out of balance with hydration for so long. And it wasn't until I started using fulvic acid that I started finding some changes in there. And I remember it was recommended that because it just wouldn't come off for months and months and months. And so I started upping my my usage of it. So instead of doing it just the once a day, I did it for 3 days or 3 times a day over a few weeks. And it was probably about 2.5 to 3 weeks time. I actually saw it come off of the report. So it truly is making changes when you, identify it in the report and you start to use the lifestyle recommendations. We can see a total change and shift in our wellness. Okay, so we're going to move on to a couple of client testimonials. We always like these. You're going to want to check in if you haven't had an inner voice. We'd love for you to check in with the person that invited you here, so you can test this out for yourself. But this is what some of our clients had to say. So we had a test group for over 21 days, and it was a group of 10 people, and they completed those days at 54.2% saw overall improvement. But specifically, the different types of things that they had improvement in were things like depression, which decreased 70.4% in 21 days. Physical pain dropped by 52.7%. Anxiety, which so many of us live with, was decreased by 66.7%, and people were sleeping better at 47.5% improvement.
And Naomi, I love that when you take care of the emotional component, it really helps to enhance like your physical wellness, your spiritual wellness. Like it hits you in every direction. So starting with the emotions is so important.
Absolutely.
So let's look at this first client testimonial. The AO scan completely saved me. Not only is my general state of depression and anxiety improving more and more, but I can also say that within the same day, I can feel the effects of using it. The specific day comes to mind while I was sinking at my lowest point. Using the AO scan allowed me to feel hope, which I felt impossible at the time, and even to concentrate at work. I can honestly say that I can keep functioning thanks to the AO scan. Melissa R. The next one is an amazing testimonial from a friend on my Solex team. She did 1 to 2 inner voice scans on her friend a week, and her friend listened to the harmonics every day. And this is her testimonial. Her results have been experiencing true happiness, losing her social anxiety tremendously, plugging herself into tons of situations she normally would not allow herself to participate in, smiling more and meaning it, confidence, and feeling like her old self. Happy AO scan user.
It's amazing. And that's what it's about, right? Being able to live life to the fullest. So this one says, thank you, Nicole. The inner voice music was so incredibly relaxing when I listened to it last night. I actually slept through the night for the first time in months. Wow. From Laura R.
And this one is an inner voice, just a screen grab to share with you guys that you can not only use this for adults, but children. Like it's so hard sometimes for kids, children of all ages, even babies, to express. They can't express how they're feeling some of the times. They just know that they're not feeling well. So you can use inner voice with a baby who's crying. You can play music for them, capture their crying, and definitely play them the balancing harmonics. And this is my son on the left. He's doing his harmonics sitting on the step. And we also use it with our dog. So my dog Grace is on the right, and she was suffering with some allergies, some imbalances that were causing her to really like have itchy skin. Like she was picking a lot at her fur, and really just we didn't know what was going on. So I of course brought out the AO scan app and started with inner voice for her, and you can see she just like gets into this relaxed state, and her ears start going up as the music's playing. You can see like things start shifting, and it definitely made a huge improvement for her.
She's so beautiful. So, and Nicole, not to put you on the spot, but I know something that I loved that you mentioned about your children doing it is the concept of a time in. So can you
Yes.
talk a little bit about that?
Yes. So I feel like so many people talk about like, oh, the kids are misbehaving, put them in a timeout. I'm like, no, they don't need a timeout. They need a time in. That's when they need you the most, when they're acting out and they feel out of control. Maybe they emotionally are not balanced. That's when they really need a time in. So that's what we implemented with our 2 younger boys. So if ever we see them starting to get like a little out of balance or they start arguing, we'll have them sit on the step. They grab the scanner app and they know how to get to their profile. They'll go right on there, do their inner voice scan, and then they listen to the balancing harmonics, and they come off the step feeling so much better. And there's a big shift. Like you'll notice that in the next like 10 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, they're not arguing again. Like I feel like timeout when you just like, oh, you have a timeout, go sit on the step, and they're doing nothing. 5 minutes they get up, they're fighting again because nothing changed. You didn't
Right.
address anything. So I feel like this was definitely a way to really help to shift their mood and address the emotional component of what was making them feel out of balance.
For sure. And with all the heightened anxiety and stress and how quickly our world moves these days, it's more than just the children, but it's adults. And, like we said, with pets and animals, horses, um, everyone is dysregulated because our nervous system is constantly in flux. And so, I think this is a really great concept that people can regulate their nervous system at any point in time that they feel out of balance, misaligned, and just completely disconnected with their intuition. So this is something that really can bring light to what's going on with themselves, with their animals, with their family. And I think it's really going to make a huge difference in the way that we do self-care.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So we are going to allow the chat to kind of work its magic. If there's any questions that come in at this point, we're going to make sure that we can stop and answer your questions. Okay. But we have one more thing. Do you want to talk about this one?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. So we wanted to share a little bit about Cephi. You're going to see on the screen on the right, you'll see that there's a fractal amplifier. And basically what that is it's a way to scan frequencies into whether you want to put it into water, into jewelry, into sugar pellets. So it's a beautiful way of supporting the body. Additionally, like you have inner voice, which is amazing. But then if you notice like something consistently coming up in your inner voice, like maybe you want to have a little more support for ADHD, you can scan your kids' bracelets. They make bracelets with a company that we're with that hold the frequencies for up to a month. So if they're struggling with something in school, you can scan their bracelet and imprint these energies right into the bracelet to help them balance out. It's the blueprint frequency that helps their body align to that energy and gives them an extra boost to clear things out that shouldn't be there.
So cool. So Cephi is a subtle energy frequency imprinter. We just want to bring this up just as a little teaser because we have another event that's coming up that we'll be talking about this in depth. But we want to give you just a brief overview because the AO scan does more than just the inner voice. Like you saw all of those options when we went into that demo. So it's the powerhouse of this technology. It uses the scalar wave technology, just like we talked about earlier, and it does so to be able to broadcast frequencies to anyone. So you can load your pets, you can load even spaces like your office or your children's school, your home, your neighbor. If you have issues with a neighbor, you can protect your home and things like that. So you can also imprint, like Nicole mentioned, and you can imprint into either the jewelry or sugar pellets, juice, and the Cephi dots of water. There are over 2,000 Cephis to choose from, including abundance, sleep well, anxiety, pain-free. Those are all things that we want to make sure that we receive, right? But there are also frequencies to help to disperse some of the negative energy in our body that may be attributed by things like diabetes, COVID. There are even detoxes for metals, viruses, limes. And a really great feature is the integration of Bach flowers, homeopathic remedies, which there are over 300, every chakra, and so much more.
So here's a little demo that we're going to watch just to show you the fractal amplifier in action. So right now we're just scrolling through some of the feel-good frequencies. and we selected abundance, and you can scan that right in. You also have the ability to use playlists. So you have like an allergy playlist, you have an anxiety playlist. You can create whatever you want specific to what you need. Like there was just one for brain clarity. And here are the Bach flowers. So you select the flower, and then it will show which flower comes up best for your energetic signature. And then here are the chakras. And this is great. Like you can not only broadcast, but you can imprint. It's a little bit of the sound of the scanner. So it's wonderful. You don't have to do it in person. You can send frequencies to anyone, anywhere in the world that you have loaded into your profile. Here we're now into the homeopathic section. You can search by symptom, which is amazing. So if you have any specific issue that you're dealing with, you can look at the symptom and it'll show you which homeopathics are best for that issue that you're experiencing.
One thing that I want to add to, Nicole, is
Mhm.
the scannability, right? So while we can go and we can select the ones that we think we need, right? You know, if you feel like you need more energy, you know to go to energy. If you feel like a confidence, you can go there. The really cool thing about this app is that you don't need to know anything about this, right? Maybe you've never even heard of Bach flowers, so you wouldn't know which one to select, or you don't know what homeopathic remedy to use for a cough or the laryngitis that I'm feeling, right? But the system will scan, or in this case with homeopathics, it'll go by symptoms. So it'll actually tell you exactly what it is that you need. So you don't need to be a practitioner or medical doctor. You don't need to be someone that has a history of learning about things like detoxes. The great thing is about this is that your body will only take as much of the frequency as it needs. So you can never be overloaded, but it knows exactly what you need. So it's foolproof.
Yeah, that's a very good point. I feel like I love to share the example of my mom. She's 78 and she has the app on her phone. She uses it daily, has seen huge improvements. She struggles with lupus and she just has seen tremendous improvement just by scanning, optimizing, using her inner voice, sending Steffies. She has like a Steffi list set up for joint pain, and sometimes she gets headaches, so she's got one for that. And she knows it's just a simple click of a button, and she can, send those frequencies to herself without having to take like a migraine medication or, anything else. So it's really such a magical way of really focusing on our health and our needs without having any of those over the counter or prescriptions that sometimes have a lot of side effects. This is completely natural, and really there are no side effects to it. So
Absolutely. I love that. So it's any age can use this. So we'll
here,
go over some playlist examples. Nicole mentioned this in the video we just played. When, let's say in this case, we have a weight loss one, and there are going to be some things that will help with weight loss, right? We want to talk about improving our self-confidence, maybe sometimes compulsive behaviors if we're eating because of emotions. We want to make sure that our lymphatic system is not plugged, we're depressed, and that our digestion is working appropriately. So these are some of the things that we can add to a playlist that we know will improve the ability to lose weight. The same thing on the abundance. So the throat chakra is directly related to abundance. We want to be able to breathe free and be able to just accept what's given to us and live in a field of gratitude, and concentrating on the things that really do matter. And so we can create these really cool playlists that relate to whatever it is that you're looking to attract, or again, to, get rid of in the case of some type of illness or symptom.
and again, these are just two more examples of playlists. There's a grief playlist here, It has a combination of different frequencies and Bach flowers, as well as I believe there might even be, yeah, there are a couple homeopathics on here as well. And then the Sleep Well playlist, I mean, this is incredible. And to have the ability to send the whole playlist to your house. We started doing this with my family, and it's been just absolutely amazing because everybody's sleeping well at night. We just set it to send the frequencies to the house, and everyone's good to go to sleep well at night.
That's amazing. So here's a client testimonial specific to Steffi. And she says, I woke up with a headache. So I made a playlist, ran it for 20 minutes, no headache. Normally, I would have had to go take meds for this. And this is amazing from Suzanne Spike. So, and this is what, you mentioned about the headaches and your mom doing that. She's able to do it without actually taking medication.
Now we want to move on to a little gift that we have for you guys. We want you to choose your gift. We have some options for you, so I'll let Naomi explain them.
Yes. So we are so excited to be able to share this technology and are grateful for you being on the call. And so we have these three that we're going to go through, and you can select whichever of the gifts that you'd like and get in contact with the person that invited you, your quantum living advocate. And so gift one is an inner voice pack. And so this is going to be an opportunity to have your scan done. You will be provided with 4 audios to listen to. You'll have a full report of what that means. And then we're going to give you a journal sheet that's going to allow you to listen to it over time and kind of track how you're feeling, maybe some of the emotions that are coming up. Because a lot of times when we listen to the inner voice, it's releasing trapped emotions. And so we start feeling, some type of detox symptoms sometimes. Maybe you're a little bit more sleepy. Maybe you lose a little bit of focus. And so we want to keep track of that and see the improvements that you're having over time by listening to it.
Now, the second option is 7 days of frequencies sent to yourself. So we have different groups that are available, and they're wonderful options. I mean, one of them is a weight loss group to have frequencies sent to you for weight loss. I know around the holidays, sometimes that's a concern. And then you have your option of sleep well, weight loss. Naomi, what are some of the other ones?
Digestion, we have like focus and clarity. But we mentioned earlier, like those abundance playlists and those kinds of things. So there definitely are ones that are available, and your quantum living advocate will know exactly which ones are running at which time you sign up. And then this is number 3 is the methylene blue. It has, it's going to come with a monthly subscription. So if you decide today that you just cannot live without the AO scan and all the amazing things that it does, you're going to be able to sign up for a monthly subscription, and you'll have that methylene blue sent to your home as well. So you get to choose one of these 3 options. If you're interested, you can send a message to your QLA, and they'll send you a link for you to sign up and make sure that you can take advantage of one of those gifts.
Okay, so we're so glad that you were able to join us tonight, and we will definitely have more events to come. So we hope that you're on our mailing list and you can join us next time.
Yes. So we hope that you have been inspired to take your health in your hands, and that the inner voice is going to be something that is part of your self-care routine going forward.
We are going to take this offline for any additional questions. We see a bunch of things in the chat. So we are going to stop the recording now. And thank you again for joining us, and we'll move on to the Q&A.